Hello everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Talk. This is a place where we speak slowly, honestly, and without pressure. My name is Rahul, and today's topic feels very close to my heart because it's about fear, the kind of fear that many of us feel but don't talk about openly.
Hello, Rahul, and hello to everyone listening right now. I'm Emma, and yes, today's topic is very human. Before we even say the name of it, I think many people already know the feeling. That quiet, nervous feeling in your chest right before you have to speak.
Yes, that moment when your heart beats faster, your hands feel a little cold, and suddenly your mind becomes very loud.
And even before you speak, your body reacts. Your mouth feels dry, your thoughts start racing. Sometimes you even forget simple words you know very well.
Yes, and then you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Why can't I just speak normally?
If you've ever felt that way, we want you to know something very important. You are not strange, you are not weak, and you are definitely not alone.
That's why today we're talking about stage fear. Not to judge it, not to fight it aggressively, but to understand it and gently learn how to live with it.
And before we continue, we want to say something small to our listeners. If you enjoy calm, honest conversations like this, please like this video.
And if you're new here, subscribe to Easy English Talk. We create conversations like this to help you feel comfortable using English in real life.
You can also share this episode with someone who feels nervous speaking in front of others. Sometimes just listening together can help.
All right, now that we've created a safe space, let's gently move forward and talk about what stage fear really is. When we say the words stage fear, it often sounds very serious, almost like something is wrong with us. But when I really think about it, stage fear is not a problem inside us. It's actually a very natural reaction. It's the body trying to protect us when we feel exposed or seen.
Yes, that's such an important point. Stage fear is not about being bad at speaking. It's about being human. The moment we stand in front of others, our body feels attention, and attention can feel risky, even if nothing bad is actually happening.
Exactly. Our mind starts asking questions very quickly. What if I forget my words? What if they laugh? What if I make a mistake? These thoughts come automatically without asking our permission.
And many people feel ashamed of these thoughts. They think, other people are confident, why am I not? But the truth is, most people feel some level of stage fear. They just don't always talk about it.
Yes, even people who look confident often feel nervous inside. They may have learned how to carry that feeling quietly, but the fear itself is still there.
Stage fear also shows up in different ways. For some people, it's shaking hands. For others, it's a fast heartbeat or a blank mind. The body and mind are doing their best to handle attention.
And when we understand that stage fear is not our enemy, something changes. We stop fighting ourselves. We stop saying, I shouldn't feel this way.
Yes. Instead, we can say, okay, I'm nervous. That's normal. That small acceptance can already reduce the fear a little.
So stage fear is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that something matters to us.
And once we understand that, we can start talking about where this fear comes from and how we can slowly make peace with it.
When we talk about stage fear, I think many of us can remember the very first time we felt it. For me, it was the first time I had to speak in front of a group. I remember standing there, holding my notes, and suddenly feeling very small. My heart was beating fast, and even though I had prepared, my mind felt empty.
Yes, that first experience stays in our memory for a long time. For me, it was during a school presentation. I practiced many times at home, and everything felt fine. But the moment I stood in front of the class, my legs felt weak and my voice sounded different. I remember thinking, why is this happening now?
That moment can feel very confusing. You know the words, you know the topic, but suddenly your body reacts as if you're in danger, and that makes you feel even more nervous.
Exactly. And after that experience, many people start telling themselves a story. They say, I'm bad at speaking, or I'm not confident. But really, it was just a first experience with fear, not a failure.
I agree. The first time is often the hardest because everything is new. You don't know what to expect, and your body reacts strongly. But that reaction doesn't define who you are.
And what's interesting is that many confident speakers today also had a first time like that. They felt nervous, they made mistakes, they felt embarrassed, but they continued.
Yes, the first time feeling stage fear is not a sign to stop. It's just the beginning of learning how to handle attention.
And when we talk about these first experiences openly, it helps us feel less alone. It reminds us that fear is shared, not personal.
And once we understand our first experience, we can ask an important question. Why does this fear feel so strong?
That's exactly what we'll talk about next.
When we ask why stage fear feels so strong, I think the answer is not very complicated. It feels strong because in that moment, all the attention is on us. Our body is not used to that. Suddenly, many eyes are watching, and the mind thinks, I must not make a mistake.
Yes, attention changes everything. In normal life, we speak without thinking too much about it. But on a stage or in front of a group, we become very aware of ourselves. Our voice, our hands, our face. That self-awareness can feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. Our brain is trying to protect us from embarrassment or rejection. It doesn't know that this is just a presentation or a small speech. It reacts as if something serious could happen. So the fear becomes bigger than the situation.
And another reason is expectations. We often believe that we must speak perfectly. No pauses, no mistakes, no nervousness. But that expectation is not realistic, and it puts a lot of pressure on us.
Yes, we imagine the audience judging every word, every movement. But in reality, most people are not that strict. They're listening, not analyzing.
That's true. Most listeners are thinking about the message, not the speaker's small mistakes. And many of them feel nervous too, even if they're just listening.
So stage fear feels strong because our mind is focusing inward instead of outward. We focus on ourselves, not on what we want to share. And that focus increases the fear.
But the good news is, once we understand this, we can slowly change where our attention goes. We don't need to remove fear completely, we just need to stop feeding it.
Exactly. And when we do that, stage fear slowly loses its power.
In the next part, we'll talk about one small truth that can change how we see the audience.
There is one small truth about stage fear that completely changed how I see it. When I finally understood this, my fear didn't disappear, but it became much lighter. The truth is this: most people in the audience are not waiting for us to fail.
Yes, this sounds simple, but it's very powerful. When we're nervous, we imagine that everyone is watching us closely, ready to judge every word. But in reality, most people are just listening, or even hoping that we do well.
Exactly. Some people are thinking about the topic. Some are thinking about their own problems. Some are just trying to stay focused. They are not counting our mistakes.
And many people in the audience feel relieved that they are not the ones speaking. They understand how hard it can be. So instead of judging, they often feel empathy.
That realization helped me shift my focus. Instead of thinking, what if I mess up? I started thinking, what do I want to share with them? That small change made speaking feel less personal and more meaningful.
Yes, when we focus on the message instead of ourselves, fear loses some of its power. We stop performing and start communicating. And communication doesn't need to be perfect.
I also learned that mistakes don't break the connection. Sometimes they even make us feel more human. A small pause, a forgotten word, a nervous smile. These things don't push people away.
They often bring people closer. Listeners feel more relaxed when they see a real person, not a perfect speaker.
So, the small truth is this: the audience is usually kinder than our fear tells us.
And once we accept that, we can begin to take small, brave steps forward.
After understanding that the audience is usually kinder than we imagine, the next question feels very natural. If fear doesn't disappear suddenly, what can we actually do about it? For me, the answer was not big actions. It was small, very manageable steps.
Yes, that's so important. Many people think they must suddenly give a big speech to overcome stage fear, but that idea alone can increase fear. Small steps work better because they teach the body that speaking is safe.
I remember starting in very simple ways, speaking in front of one person, sharing an idea in a small group, even talking out loud to myself at home. Small moments felt small, but they slowly built confidence.
Exactly. Fear reduces when the situation becomes familiar. The more often your body experiences speaking without danger, the calmer it becomes. And practicing alone is not silly. It's actually very powerful.
Yes, when you hear your own voice, you get used to it. You learn that pauses are okay. You learn that you don't need to rush. That awareness helps a lot when you speak in front of others.
Another small step is choosing short speaking moments. You don't need to speak for 10 minutes. Even 30 seconds is enough. Short success builds trust.
I also learned that it's okay to feel nervous while speaking. The goal is not to remove fear completely. The goal is to speak even when fear is present.
Yes, courage doesn't mean no fear. It means moving forward with fear, slowly and kindly.
And every small step you take sends a message to yourself. I can do this. That message grows stronger over time.
And when that trust grows, fear naturally becomes quieter.
In the next part, we'll talk about something very simple but very helpful: breathing and pauses.
Yes, small tools that help the body calm down.
When we talk about stage fear, we often focus on thoughts, but the body plays a very big role too. Sometimes, even before we think anything, the body reacts. Breathing becomes fast, the chest feels tight, and everything feels rushed. That's why learning to breathe calmly can change the whole experience.
Yes, breathing is something very simple but very powerful. When we are nervous, we forget to breathe slowly. We take short, quick breaths, and that sends a message to the body that something is wrong. But when we slow down our breathing, the body starts to relax.
I remember learning this slowly. Before speaking, I would take one deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then breathe out slowly. That small action helped my heartbeat slow down.
And the nice thing is, no one can see you breathing. You can do it quietly, even while standing in front of people. It gives you a moment to settle yourself before you speak.
Pauses work in a similar way. Many people think pauses are a mistake. They think silence means failure, but that's not true.
Yes, a pause is not a problem. A pause is space. It gives you time to think, and it gives the listener time to understand.
When we are nervous, we often speak too fast. We try to escape the moment. But slowing down and allowing pauses actually makes us sound calmer and more confident.
Exactly. And listeners usually like pauses. They don't feel uncomfortable, they feel natural.
So breathing and pauses are not tricks. They are ways to tell your body, I'm safe, I have time.
And when the body feels safe, the mind follows.
In the next part, we'll talk about something that happens inside our head, the way we talk to ourselves before and during speaking.
Yes, our inner voice matters a lot. Voice matters a lot.
After breathing and pauses, there is another place where stage fear grows quietly. It's inside our head. The words we say to ourselves before and during speaking can make fear much stronger or much softer. And most of the time, we don't even realize how harsh our inner voice is.
Yes, that inner voice can be very loud. Before speaking, many people tell themselves things like, "I'm going to forget everything," "I'll sound stupid," or "everyone will notice my mistakes." Those words don't help us. They only increase fear.
I used to talk to myself like that too, and I didn't understand why my body felt worse every time. Then I realized something simple. If a friend spoke to me like that, I would feel terrible. So why was I speaking to myself that way?
That realization is very important. We don't need to lie to ourselves or say, "I'm perfect," but we can choose kinder words. Words like, "It's okay to be nervous," or "I can speak slowly," or "I don't need to be perfect."
Yes, those small changes in language create a big change in feeling. Instead of fighting fear, we start supporting ourselves, and support feels much safer than pressure.
Another helpful shift is moving the focus away from performance. Instead of asking, "How do I look?" we can ask, "What do I want to share?" That question brings our attention back to meaning, not fear.
I really like that. When the goal becomes sharing, not impressing, speaking feels more natural. And mistakes feel less important.
Exactly. Your inner voice becomes a calm guide instead of a critic. And when that happens, stage fear doesn't control you anymore.
It may still be there, but it no longer decides what you do.
And that's a very powerful change.
In the final part, we'll speak directly to our listeners.
Yes, a gentle message for anyone who still feels afraid.
So, Emma, as we come to the end of this conversation, I feel something important. Stage fear doesn't feel like a big enemy anymore. It feels more like a feeling we can understand, accept, and slowly work with. And that already makes a big difference.
I feel the same way. Talking about stage fear like this reminds me that fear doesn't mean we are weak. It means we care. And caring is not a problem. It's actually a strength.
Yes, we talked about understanding fear, taking small steps, breathing, pauses, and being kinder to ourselves. None of these things remove fear overnight, but together they help fear lose its control.
And if you're listening right now and still feel nervous about speaking, that's okay. You don't need to rush. You don't need to become confident tomorrow. Growth happens quietly, step by step.
You are allowed to speak slowly. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to feel nervous and still continue.
Stage fear does not define who you are. It's just a feeling that comes and goes.
Before we say goodbye, we'd love to hear from you.
In the comments, tell us one situation where you feel nervous speaking. It could be in class, at work, or even with friends.
If this conversation helped you, please like this video.
And subscribe to Easy English Talk for more calm, supportive conversations like this.
You can also share this episode with someone who might need it.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
We truly appreciate you.
Until next time, take care of yourself.
And remember, you don't need to be fearless to speak.
You just need to be kind to yourself.
Goodbye for now.